Okay, so today's recipe will be coming from the Slimming World's One for All book, and it's going to be Texan beef pot roast, which probably won't look like this because I don't have celery. But what I do have is beef. It does say a kilogram of boned and rolled topside beef. Couldn't get that, so I just got roasting joint. Cornflour, passata, 2 potatoes, 2 red onions, 3 carrots, beef stock cubes, 4 cloves of garlic, tomato puree, 2 peppers, parsley for serving, and then it's supposed to have fresh thyme. I've only got dried, but I'll use that. Barbecue seasoning, and like I said, you're supposed to have 2 celery sticks as well, which I don't have. But we'll do what we can with what we do have. So the first thing I need to do is to fry off the onions. So whilst the onions are cooking, I'm going to make up the sauce that will go over the beef. So you need 200 grams of passata. That's just over, but that's okay because it's all speedy. And then we need to mix that with tomato puree, which is 2 tablespoons. I didn't have fresh thyme and it's supposed to be a heaped tablespoon, so we'll go with kind of a not quite heaped. There we go. Then it says to add 120 ml of boiling beef stock, so I shall get that made now. Okay, so into the jug goes the 120 ml of stock. And 4 cloves of garlic. Quite a lot, isn't it? Give that a good stir. Once the onions have softened a bit and gone into the slow cooker, I'll just seal the beef. So the onions are in. I'm just going to seal the beef all the way around, then that goes in on top of the onions. And then the sauce goes on top of that. Okay, the beef is in. Pour the sauce over the top. And that's going to go on high. I'll mix the onions around in a moment just to make sure everything's coated, and that's going to go online. Well, eventually it's going to go on high for 3 hours. So I've pre-chopped the carrots, potatoes and peppers just to save time later. They'll go in 3 hours time so they can sit in water. Here's the meat. I forgot to put in the barbecue sauce, which is kind of essential. So before you pour all this sauce on, you're meant to put a tablespoon of barbecue, but I shall have to do that now instead. Okay, barbecue seasoning. And it goes. I shall mix that in off camera. Oh, what a thing to forget. The smell from this pot is amazing. Okay, so 3 hours has gone by on high. I'm just going to put the camera down to get the meat out onto the plate. And then here's all the vegetables that I chopped up earlier. The 2 potatoes, 3 carrots, 2 peppers. I'm going to strain all that. It's just been sat in water to preserve it. And that will all go in the pot. Okay, so that's all of the vegetables are in. So we need to give it a really good mixture. And then put the meat back on top and push it in as far as you can. And it did say to make sure all the vegetables are covered in the liquid. However, they're not. So I think what I'll have to do is keep checking on this. When the lid goes back on, it's got another 3 to 4 hours, so it's got plenty of time to cook, but I think I'll keep checking. There we go. I actually added a little bit more passata because I really don't think there was enough liquid in there. Do it by eye, I guess. So I've put the meat back in and pushed it down as far as I can, which is what it says to do in the book. So the lid will go on now and I'll be back in a few hours. Okay, So it's quite a few hours later. It does need about 8 hours on low. I did try and do it on high, but the beef was getting too tough. So we switched it to low and let it go for longer. Now you can add corn flour to the sauce once you've scooped the beef and the vegetables out and let that go for another 20 minutes to thicken. But therein lies your sins. And I didn't really want sins, so I didn't do that. So this is the recipe without thickened sauce.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, please do.
You actually took the lid off. You sort of, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I put it kind of wonky.
Put it at an angle to allow steam to escape.
To reduce the liquid.
To try and reduce the liquid so it was a bit more sauce-like.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe you'd like to tell them that.
I did put the lid on at an angle to try and reduce the liquid a bit. Kath's just finishing her plateful. What do you think, Kath?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah?
The meat's really tender.
Yeah.
Really tender.
So that's another slow cooker recipe for our new slow cooker playlist. Let us know what you think if you do try it. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.